I'm here in the A10 booth with Tim Roddy, VP of Product, Fidelis. Well,
By Fidelis Cybersecurity.
I won't tell you what he told me earlier that really got me thinking. Anyway, I just heard your presentation. It was phenomenal. And a couple of things stuck with me, and that is Fidelis is working with 24 of the Fortune 100, as well as 50 US government agencies.
Yeah, that's correct. We've been at it since '94, and you build up a lot of, or excuse me, 2004. You'll build up a lot of customers in that period of time.
For those that couldn't be here in the A10 booth here at RSA, what would your greatest recap be for them about what you explained to everyone here in the audience?
Well, really two things. Number one is that you need to know your terrain as an IT person. You got to know what it is you have in your organization. Now, you know what you've deployed, you know what laptops you've given everybody, but what have they brought in? What IoT devices have been placed in the organization? The ones you don't even know about them, somebody may have added in. You've got to know what all that is, because an intruder, when they get into your network, and they will get in, are going to map that out. So you better have mapped it out so you know what you're looking at and what they're looking at.
You know what's interesting, Tim, is that all of us have our devices with us all the time. So what you're talking about is mission critical, and the fact that we all have our phones with us when we arrive to work, and we may be bringing our own devices, BYOD. And so it really is quite a challenge for organizations today to manage that security risk.
No, it's true. You never know what someone could have walked in the door with. You've got a public or visitor network. So people come in, they log into that. You need to know what's there as well. So you can map it all out, because you can't, all those devices that someone brings in, you can't put software on it. You can't install it. No one will allow that. Even employees that bring their own Macs in, for example, if you're a Windows shop, won't allow you to bring and put something on their device. So you've got to have another way of looking at it. That's why we partner with A10. They need to be able to, organizations now need to look at decrypting communications so that then someone like us can scan it and tell you what's going on there and what those devices are. But if you've got it all encrypted, then you've got obscurity. You don't know what's there. And if you don't have transparency, you're asking for trouble.
It's interesting, the keynote today at RSA was talking about that level of authenticity and transparency and that trust landscape within this threat landscape. And so how is it that we're going to be able to manage, build trust in this in the space that we're in, where people are still pretty tight-lipped and not sharing potential risk?
Right. Well, I wasn't at the presentations for the keynotes, but typically when they're talking about trusted, they're talking about knowing what the device is, making sure it's patched properly, it's secured with one or more pieces of software, endpoint type software. You can't do that with the things that we're talking about, the BYODs. So in order to have trust, you've got to have visibility as to what they're doing and limit what you're allowing them to do, and constantly monitor what they're communicating with. So if you see something that's abnormal, you now know you need to investigate it further. You may need to detect what the abnormal behavior that might be going on.
Now, Tim, if we were talking 5 years from now, what do you think we would be talking about in this interview?
Wow, you want me to predict the future? I should go into venture capital. Boy, it's going to be more and more cloud. The devices will be even smarter. You'll have 5G fully deployed, which means that everything's going to talk to everything else at 10G speeds. You're not going to, in your home, you're not going to require a cable modem from the cable company. Every device is just going to have the ability, if it's 5G enabled, to talk directly to those antennas somewhere. So a lot of that network protection is going to move to those places. You have to worry about those devices, which are very smart, that can communicate with each other. You add all those things up, it's a very different threat landscape, and that has an effect on business as well. Those devices will be doing that within the organization. It won't be touching your network at all. It won't be touching your Wi-Fi spots. And how are you going to protect that? And that's a challenge for the industry.
Tim, what are you most passionate about or excited about at this time, 2019?
2019, I really like what I'm seeing with cloud providers embracing security. The big cloud providers embraced getting as many customers as they could to move their data to them without giving a lot of thought for security. And it's been a challenge for the rest of us to be able to seamlessly deploy in their clouds. And it's getting easier for us to do that, to provide better protection to our customers. So whether they have on-premise issues or they have cloud issues, they typically have a hybrid of both. We're doing a better job now in 2019 than we did a couple of years ago because of the cooperation of those cloud vendors, and I'm excited about that.
That's fantastic. One last word, how are you working with A10?
Very simple. A10 has the ability to decrypt the SSL blind spot, as I like to call it. They do a great job doing it with a variety of different solutions, and their solution is necessary, or our customers, or large ones and small, to decrypt the parts of their traffic that they're not seeing. If they're using Office 365, it's encrypted. If they're using Salesforce, it's encrypted. And you've got to start decrypting that to see those threats, because encryption is privacy, it is not security.
Wow, that was quotable. Everyone should tweet that one. Thank you so much, Tim. I really appreciate it. Everyone, this is Tim, and well, you've got his handle there. Follow him.
Thank you very much. Have a great show.